If you have ever been a member of the Jehovah's Witness organization, you will know that for decades they have been pulling the same trick, where they have these vague stories telling about someone, somewhere, at some time doing something, and they rewrap it and give it to you over and over and over again. Now, if you've never been a Jehovah's Witness and you don't know what I'm talking about, well, their stories kind of go like this. A single mother in South America who was pregnant fought snakes walking through a jungle for 30 miles to get to her kingdom hall, and she never missed a meeting.
Oh, Jehovah, help us! Well, that was pretty easy. Hey, Jehovah, do you think we could get some food, please? Wow, this is great!
Now, this formula was able to thrive because it's kind of hard whenever everything is so vague. But in the age of their video revolution that they had ever since the inception of JW broadcasting, things have changed. And when they're trying to rebrand or reuse the same stories, people like me are going to notice. And boy howdy, the new governing body update for this month, they're just reusing the same story, and that story is a story that they've reused before, and I find it absolutely hilarious. Let's get into it. I have undiagnosed mental illness, and I have skeletons. Hello and welcome back to the JW Thoughts channel. My name is Wally, and today we are looking at the governing body update for this month, hosted by the longest tenured member of the governing body, Garrett Loesch, and he is going to give us a story that sounded familiar to me, and upon further investigation, might have sounded familiar to a lot of people. I find it absolutely hilarious. Don't forget to drop a like on this video. It helps it get out to more people on YouTube. And subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying this content and looking forward to other stuff like this. With all of that being said, let's do this.
Welcome to our update. In many parts of the world, conventions are underway. In fact, as of early July, over 2.3 million have attended the Exercise Patience regional conventions in person.
So there's basically a game on exjw social media right now about how many people were at the convention. So anyone that has attended is reporting the numbers, and boy howdy, they are not looking very good.
Those who have already attended the convention have benefited greatly, and we are sure those who will be attending in the future, you're going to love it.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
Seeing the first tour group arrive was exciting, so encouraging, knowing the efforts that they'd made to come.
But in honesty, I don't know who was more excited, the Bethel family or the tour group, because we really love to have them here.
My favourite part was the amazing surprise of walking in and everyone being there and welcoming us and waving, and so many hugs. It was a great surprise.
The welcome we got was amazing, and they just kept on coming and talking to us.
Small counterpoint here. What did you expect? Did you expect a half-assed greeting by someone that was burnt out and tired, like, hey, welcome to Bethel? It's so stupid. It's like going to the lake and then like, wow, guys, there's water here. Can you believe it? Like you're going on Tinder and you're like, whoa, my God, there's local singles here. Oh, I didn't expect this. It's not necessarily going to rock the old noodle and be a shock to the system. But put that to one side, and I still have another problem with this. I can't stand phoniness. And this is all phony. It's a bunch of nonsense because they are being told to give these hugs. They are being told to make these signs. They are being told to give this grandiose greeting so that way they can get it on film. it's not authentic, it's not natural, it's not real. It's exactly opposite of what Jesus talked about in the Bible, for those of you that care, when he's like, don't be like the guy that's beating his chest and praying at the top of his lungs. We don't respect that guy because he's a goober. We have more respect for someone that is real and authentic, and none of this qualifies for that. So if someone walks up and gives me a hug because someone came and told them to give me a hug, I'd be like, get away from me, weird person. This is annoying. So I don't get any of this, and why people are pretending to be surprised, and excited about something that is all designed and scripted and planned for. So if that's what you're looking for in life, if you just want some fake friends that show fake love and fake compassion, become a Jehovah's Witness, because you will get it in bucketfuls.
But then our interactions have never been entirely normal. Wouldn't you agree?
Got that right.
It has been over a month now since tours have resumed, and it has been amazing.
So this is an interesting little trick that the Watchtower pulls every once in a while, where they actually show you something that is false in their doctrine from the past. So when they're showing this little chart of the ages, all of it is pointing to Jesus having made his arrival in 1874, and then everyone would be raptured into heaven in 1914. That was the actual message when this thing was written. But they have this goofy way of spinning things around to make you think that there's nothing hidden in the closet. There ain't no skeletons in there, and they open the closet, but they have a secret little hidden door inside of that closet where all of the skeletons are hidden. So I just always find it fascinating how they try and showcase how honest and open they are about their past and everything, and yet they do it in a sanitized way that's really manipulative, because it ends up tricking witnesses into thinking, oh no, those are just some wild claims by apostates about false prophecies. We never claimed any of that, and we're open and honest about it. But you need to do a little bit more research on the matter, and as soon as you start looking into it from other sources, or just using witness sources but from back in the day, things unravel really quickly.
In May 2022, Brother Dennis Christensen was released from prison. Shortly after, we interviewed him and his wife, Irina. As you watch the following video, notice what helped them to endure and remain faithful.
We were at a meeting of our congregation in the city of Oriol. But then one of our ministerial servants came running to me and said, "Dennis, you have to go in the hallway." Okay, I went then in the corridor, and there were people standing there in masks. A lot of police officers and a lot of FSB people. They showed their IDs and said that they were going to search our hall.
So this is what I was talking about at the beginning of the video, in Watchtower recycling the same story over and over again. Because if you keep a firm finger on the pulse of Watchtower, you're going to know this guy, because we've seen him a lot. And in the course of this little video presentation that they give, they're actually just reusing the exact same footage that we've seen about a year ago in another governing body update. It's actually mind-blowing, but there are a couple questions that I have surrounding this, so let's watch a little bit more, and then we can get into some of those more specifics about his story and the way Watchtower is presenting it.
After that, they also showed me some paper. It was a ruling that I was the main one in this case, and that they would arrest me for 2 days. I thought, it's no big deal, going to be resolved. 2 days is something I can live with. Other brothers and sisters were in prison before me, and I can do it too. And I was sure too that Jehovah was protecting me.
Now, when I heard this, I thought, haven't we heard this story before, or something very similar? And it's not just very similar, it's quite literally the same thing. I know everyone likes to clown on Watchtowers because they just copy and paste from old ones. This is the exact same thing. They're copy and pasting old things that they've covered before and just showing it again. And I do think it's fascinating in the age of video that we can just it's so blatantly obvious, because before they could say, well, some names were removed. It was some lady somewhere that was walking through some forest to get to some kingdom hall, and be a little bit more vague. But in this instance, it is a lot more specific, which I find hilarious. Now, I do want to point out, I do personally believe that people can worship in a non-harmful way, and they should have religious freedom. I don't think that governments should be able to encroach on that unless that religion is doing harm. Now, in the case of Jehovah's Witnesses, it's a little bit more difficult because of child indoctrination, their shunning policy, baptizing children that are as young as 7, 8, 9 years old, and then shunning them if they ever try and leave that organization, which goes against religious freedom. So it's hard for me to be too compassionate about not the people. Obviously, we feel compassion for the people, but for the organization, because an organization that just gets their size 15 boots and tramples all over people's religious freedom, the religious freedom of children, it's hard for me to go, oh, boo-hoo, I feel sorry for you when you're religious. So yeah, anyway, you guys know what I'm saying. The organization, no, I don't feel sorry for them, but the individuals, absolutely, because they are just doing the best they have with what they have, and they are stuck in a doomsday cult, so it's likely that they don't actually know any better. So it's a very dynamic situation, and we don't need to, I mean, I guess in the comments you can sound off and let me know what you guys think about sort of the dynamics of that, because I don't have it fully fleshed out in my own head, but I guess I say I have compassion for the people, but when the organization tries to cry, oh, look at us, we're being persecuted, it's so horrible, in their propagandas to get people to feel sorry for them, I don't feel sorry for the organization at all. But I do feel sorry for the people, and it even doubly makes me mad at the organization for exploiting these people and their tragedy to try and find a way to make people even more hardened Jehovah's Witnesses. So, Watchtower, if you are going to cry foul of a government not giving you religious freedom, you need to give your members religious freedom. With all of that being said, let me give you a quick timeline of this guy's story. So, sorry, I don't script these, so I'm just going off of my memory, so hopefully I don't get this too wrong. But his story first appeared on jw.org in the form of a video in 2017, and we got an update that he was the first one arrested whenever the Supreme Court in Russia banned Jehovah's Witnesses. Then we got another update in 2018 about a few more details going on with the circumstances of his arrest and the appeal and the denial and the pretrial detention. And then in 2018, during the annual meeting, they talked about his story again, using the same footage. We're seeing a pattern here. Then in 2020, once again, they covered his story. Then again in 2022, and during a governing body update, same footage, same story, same person, same narrative. They covered this again, and now in 2023, this current governing body update, they are covering it with the same footage, the same thing, over and over again. So it's really staggering when you sit back, and I hadn't really put together that they had been using his story, because I think I even made a video about the governing body update in 2022. But now here we are a year later, and they're still going on. And I have to laugh at that aspect of it, that Watchtower just wants to use the same thing over and over again. And it's hilarious to me that they have the coconuts in order to say, we need more donations because our videos are so important. They are life-saving videos. And then you see the crap that they put out, and all they're doing is re-uploading. They're copy and pasting the same thing that they've already done for 5 years. 5 years on the internet is huge. A month. If you're a month late to a topic or a subject on the internet, that is old news. No one cares about it, and people are like, I don't know about that. Unsubscribe. What is this guy covering old news for? So it's really funny to me that they are just using the exact same footage, the same person, the same story. Now, there are a few other elements of this, and I will play a clip. Well, maybe throughout as I'm talking, I'll play a few clips of some of the older ones, and I'll tell you, when it was. This is me talking to myself so I can edit it easier. Oh my god. Anyway, I will play a clip of him talking in perfect English. And it was a head scratcher to me because why are they dubbing it over now?
Today is a happy day. A happy day because I at least got free from the prison and I came home to Copenhagen, Denmark, where I can again be together with my friends and my beloved family. I'm also looking forward to that I can live a more normal family life with my beloved wife Irina. I'm very glad and I appreciate all that all the brothers and sisters has done for me in these 5 years. No matter what the weather was, every day she was there. It was our little secret, which we reveal now. For 2 years, we didn't tell it to anyone at all.
So, I have a couple of thoughts about why they potentially could be dubbing it over. My initial thought was, well, they're just trying to have original content in various languages, so they wanted him to speak in his mother tongue, and then they would dub it over with his own voice in English as well. This one doesn't necessarily hold up because wouldn't you try and focus on the majority of your audience, and the majority of Jehovah's... is it a majority? It's a near majority of Jehovah's Witnesses speak English. Britain, Australia, Canada, and the United States, and most of Europe. That's going to make up a big percentage. That number is going to be large. I didn't do all of the advanced algorithms here for figuring that out. But most of them are going to speak English, so why not cater the content to that audience? So I don't know why they would dub over this one in particular. The other thing I thought of was they were trying to sanitize his words. So before they had him, he was just speaking, talking, going off the dome. And I thought it was actually very powerful. I thought it was a little goofy that he came off of a plane with his prison outfit still, and they had the cameras and everyone set up. It seemed very staged. But beyond that aspect of cringe, I thought that he did hold forth very effectively, and the message seemed very clear and kind of motivating. If I was a Jehovah's Witness hearing him speak, I would be very much engaged with him. I'm less engaged with the voiceover, though. So I'm thinking, this is just me being a goofball, so you feel free to disagree with me in the comments, but I think that maybe he said things that Watchtower didn't like. Maybe it was like trying to correct a few things here and there. So they said, yeah, we would like to put that on the broadcasting, but we would like you to actually say this. So instead of getting his authentic self, they gave the scripted version of the story. So that is my little kooky tinfoil hat hypothesis that I've cooked up. I have the wildest chimera of a moonstruck brain, so take that for what you will. But let me know what you guys think was going on here, because if he does speak English and a good percentage of the audience watching this speaks and understands English very well, and he's a good speaker and an engaging speaker when he does speak in English, why would they do a voiceover? So, with all of that being said, what did we learn from this governing body update? We learned that it wasn't an update, because we've kind of gotten this story a few times before. We've seen this song and dance before, so I don't really get it. But I did want to cover it, and I did find it fascinating, because we're so familiar with doing it in the print form, and it's interesting to see it now on video form. But that's about all I have to say about this governing body update. If you're still around, don't forget to drop a like on this video. It helps it get out to more people on the YouTubes. The YouTube algorithm gods really enjoy it when you like and comment on videos. So if you want to help the channel grow, that would be super. With all that being said, stay safe, be kind, and don't forget to smile. And you better have a good ass day.